inside baseball, and they're going to have to just fix that within the gaming community.
Yeah, and it will get fixed. They've done a pretty good job of putting things into the light. Very Breitbart stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of the seeds of this crap are sown in academia and the smart people that talk to each other at these conferences and say,
Absolutely.
What sort of language can we use to manipulate around? And they're caught out. They're caught out because the internet is so fast and gamers are so smart.
Yeah. And they're quick too about it.
Yeah.
But these are the same people who come out with phrases. I'm not making this up. When I first heard this phrase being used, I thought it was a joke. I really did. But there's the XOXO Fest and stuff like that where these people tend to gather. And Anita Sarkeesian got up on stage and was giving this presentation. And behind her, one of her graphics quite literally said, and I'm not kidding, "Listen and believe." How or what can you get? Just listen and believe. Okay, what?
Yeah.
The pastor of my church said that once, but that was different. No.
What's that?
The pastor of my church said that once, but that was a little different. No. But no, I guess what that's you guys have both mentioned Breitbart a couple of times, and the way, and we were talking about this, kind of behind the scenes as well, that how much fun we would have with this, because there are so many things that need to come out, and that would be, you pull one thread and they just all start.
I'm pretty sure Adam would agree with me here in this.
Right.
Milo Yiannopoulos has been amazing when it comes to exposing all of the corruption that's been happening. Whenever I see him, his articles came out, exposing one of the big things, Game Journos Pro came out. He exposed them, which was the same thing as journalist. Only with the gaming media. Milo exposed that. He exposed just basically everything from the beginning.
But Brandon, so journalists talk to each other. No big deal. Just because they slam some other journalists and perhaps get them fired or blacklisted, that's no big deal. Blacklisting.
No, right?
Come on. And but Milo's been
wow.
great. And I've watched this from the beginning, and when Milo jumped in, he seemed very almost standoffish in his approach to it. Very professional, very journalistic. And it took him, not very long, because the anti-Gamergaters came in and hit very hard, but he was approaching it in a very professional, fact-gathering way. And the unpleasant facts are that the anti-Gamergate crowd, they're the bad guys.
Yeah. Oh, and just to interject, Milo Yiannopoulos, for those of you who do not know, works for Breitbart London.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But he's writing a book, and it's going to come out very soon, hopefully by April.
And I think any liberty-loving individual should definitely read it. And it's a perfect example of the kind of corruption that's and this is not just gaming media. This is a mentality that's going around all of media. Like I said, with journalists, a lot of the things that conservatives had to face over the past 6 years, gamers faced within the past few months, rapid fire. And they've dealt with it, and they've done serious damage because of it, from Docker to making media websites, or gaming websites, change up how they operate and stuff like that, really bringing attention to the fact that there is corruption in certain groups that for instance, groups that give out awards and stuff like that, certain games. They expose the corruption in that, showing which games get money and funding, and for the reasons why they've exposed that. Gamergate has done what the Tea Party, a lot of what the Tea Party has done, and possibly more.
Don't let the left-wing scold. Don't let the left-wing scolds get into games, or let's chase them out of the other cultural institutions that we have. They're too deeply entrenched, and we see the results culturally, economically, and spiritually in this entire country and world when you have people who are telling you that they're doing this for your own good in charge. And the pushback I've seen has been nothing less than inspiration, nothing less than inspirational. They're wonderful people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Love every single one of them that I've come across. I've made some really good friends. And a lot of these people. Yeah, a lot of these people
politics are not really welcome in games.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to think. No, go ahead. I was going
to say, it is something that, it's talked about randomly, but politics is one of those things that just kind of gets pushed to the side because, and their opposition, Gamergate's opposition, has tried to inject politics into it several times with saying, oh, well, Gamergate is a right-wing, gathering of people, and, not necessarily, like Adam said earlier, it is a, primarily left libertarian movement.
Yeah, I had a conversation earlier with Total Biscuit, and he and I disagree on politics pretty much on everything. Although I think we're probably closer than we realize. He's left libertarian, I'm more right libertarian, and he's just as strong as I am, or stronger. This guy knows games way more than I do. I don't even hold a candle to that. I just jumped into it for the sociological, political reasons, and because I love gamers and nerds. I've met them. I've worked with them. I love them. I love watching games being played. I just think I just haven't been able to be very good at that little hand controller. Otherwise, I would have been good at it. I revert to chess and golf. Those are my games.
Yeah, I imagine golf can be
we have a caller on the line. His name is Michael. He runs WTF Magazine on Twitter. You guys okay with taking a couple questions?
Hey, yeah, absolutely.
All right, go ahead, Hammy. Bring him live.
Hey, what's
going
on,
Michael?
Folks?
Hi.
What is happening?
Not much, man. How you going?
I just saw that the radio show was on, and I figured I'd call in and kind of chime in on a little bit of stuff.
I'm already a fan of your accent, dude.
Oh, thank you. I was born and raised in Tennessee, man.
Oh yeah.
Which holler?
Do what?
Which holler?
Hell, there's all kinds of hollers in Tennessee, man. Hell, I grew up in one. but no, man. But this the whole Gamergate thing, it really hit home with me because I've been playing games since I was 7 years old, and I'm 33 now.
Mm-hmm.
And what really hooked me in was the whole Reddit censorship. That's what kind of hooked me in. And
the Reddit mod standing.
And then just everything that come up after that, and it's morphed into, it's pretty much morphed into its own subculture, because Milo pretty much kind of hit the nail on the head with one of the videos, like those compilation videos, like where we're at and Gamergate and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He said it best when he says that we've morphed into our own subculture, and we pretty much become the media watchdogs, and it's, at this point, we've got these people running scared. If they was not scared and not worried about what we think and what we perceive, they wouldn't be tweeting at us like 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be fucking bragging about blocking people.
They're not so much tweeting at Gamergate 24/7. They've moved on. They have created an echo chamber and a block list, and they're not listening anymore. But that doesn't matter. The audience the audience matters. The readership matters. And it doesn't. Who cares what the little game journo pros think. It doesn't matter anymore. They've been called out. They've been exposed. So their opinions are losing readership. They'll lose credibility that they had before anyway. So it's just, I think that Archon, the guys over at Escapist, who took it on early on and admitted that they made mistakes and they stepped up and addressed it head on. Those are the classy outfits that will last.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
They addressed that they had problems internally and externally, or whatever you want to put it, and they tried their best to kind of weather the storm. And it's games journalism itself has been a joke for years.
Hey, let me ask you something. You guys are experts on games. What's your goal?
Yeah.
What's your want? What do you want from this?
Well, I would say I said to win, and I mean obviously that is the case, and because that's what I like to do. But I really want to experience something different. Every time I put in a game, I want to experience something that I haven't experienced before. I want something to grab my attention and make me go, "Whoa, wow, what a story."
You don't get games like the old Final
pretty deeply.
Well, you don't get games like the old Final Fantasy titles anymore. You don't get titles that grip you in a story and just make you just so engrossed in like character development and just.
Well, I disagree with that. I really liked BioShock. The BioShock series was unbelievable.
BioShock.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Halo grabbed me. I just loved the feel of it, and it kind of tickles my patriotic sensibilities a bit. I'm not gonna lie.
And the thing is, though, is like each gamer is different in their taste too. It's like you got your taste, and I got mine. I grew up on role playing games. I grew up playing Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy, just anything RPG on NES, Super NES, and Sega Genesis, all of them. Anything RPG, I ate it. That was my thing.
And there's recently one came out that really kind of grabbed me, and it didn't even really have that big of a story behind it, but it really makes you think, and it's called This War of Mine.
That game is great.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those. It's a war game where you just have to survive, and it's one of those things that really grabs you. It's not trying to push a message like war is bad, war is horrible. This is, it basically puts you into a position where you have to make a decision on whether, you do a good thing or a bad thing, because that good thing or bad thing could kill you or help you survive. It really makes you think, and it touches you a little bit, because there are certain situations that you get put in where you really want to help somebody and you can't. And it depresses you, it depresses your character, and you don't really find that kind of experience outside of video games. You just don't.
I think as far as the end game goes, I think that what we as a collective want, and I'm not speaking for everybody in Gamergate, mind you. I'm just one shit poster amongst thousands. But at the end of the day, we're just tired of being lied to.
Absolutely.
We're just tired of being spoon-fed this namby-pamby bullshit posing as games and just journalism in general. Look at the most recent article that Nathan Grace had done today of The Witcher 3. I tweeted about it earlier. And it's like it's just so dismissive of the industry. Like he opens up the fucking review with it was a video game, and I'm sort of thinking like, dude, you get paid to do this shit.
Well, these are the same people that lost their mind over a sneak. From Shadows of Mordor, where you're the main character at the beginning. They're teaching you how to play this game. And they're teaching you how to sneak, and it was a really interesting thing because they taught you how to sneak by sneaking up behind your wife and kissing her. Now the same mechanic is used to sneak up behind an orc and kill them, and they lost their minds over this.
Oh my God!
These people.
You push X to kill the guy, and you push X to kill your wife. That means you want to kill your wife or kiss your wife.
Yeah, exactly. No. Their actual words were, and this is how anti-Gamergate kind of views the populace. Their actual words were, "People won't know the difference."
Oh God. And that is where they fucked up right there. Is